Welcome. Have you ever set a very clear, meaningful goal? I mean, something you genuinely cared about, only to find yourself mysteriously procrastinating, second guessing, or completely stopping before you even started? You made a plan, you put it on your calendar, and then, when the moment came to take action, a wave of inner resistance hit you. Today, we're exploring values as an acronym, VALUES. These are guided action plans, and specifically how to use the HARD, HARD framework in order to anticipate and conquer the invisible internal barriers that silently sabotage our progress. By the end of this short session, you won't just know how to set goals, you'll know how to bulletproof your execution against your mind's favorite tricks. Let me ask you a crucial question. Why do traditional action plans fail? Look at standard productivity advice. It tells us to manage our time, organize our tools, and block off our calendars. Those are external factors. But research in acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, shows that the primary reason we abandon our goals isn't a lack of time or resources. It's internal emotional friction. When we step towards something important, our mind naturally produces discomfort, fear of failure, perfectionism, self-doubt, or sheer fatigue. Sound familiar? Because we don't anticipate these internal roadblocks, they catch us off guard. We interpret that discomfort as a sign to stop. Proactive psychological auditing flips the script. We identify our internal obstacles before we step onto the field. Before we talk about obstacles, we need to ground ourselves in actions that are motivated by our values. A goal without a value is just an obligation. So let's break down what true values, a guided approach, looks like. Again, this is an acronym. The V stands for vitality. And the question is, does this goal give you energy and genuine personal meaning? A stands for alignment. Is it aligned with who you want to be, or is it someone else's expectation? L stands for long-term vision. How does this small step build towards your broader life direction? U stands for unwavering commitment. Are you willing to experience temporary discomfort to achieve it? E stands for empowered action, which is moving out of choice, not out of fear or guilt. S stands for sustainable growth, building habits that respect your humanity over the long haul. When your plan is anchored in core values, well, then you'll have the intrinsic fuel required to face uncomfortable inner feelings. Now, how do we anticipate the internal mental traps? We use the HARD, HARD framework. When you prepare to execute a value-guided action plan, your mind will present obstacles across 4 distinct domains. The first, H, is for hooked. Hooked is when you get caught in unhelpful thoughts or self-limiting beliefs. A is for avoidance. This is when you attempt to avoid or escape these uncomfortable feelings like anxiety or boredom. R stands for remote from values. And this means you're going to lose touch with why this matters, treating it as a sterile task if it's not rooted in your values. D is for distantly future. The ultimate payoff can feel light years away, so immediate short-term comfort tends to win out. Let's look at how to master each of these. Let's unpack hooked and avoidance first. Hooked, or what psychologists call cognitive fusion. This happens when your mind shouts, "You're going to mess this up," or "You aren't ready yet." When you're hooked, you treat that thought as an absolute unchangeable truth. You believe it, even though it's probably inaccurate. The solution is diffusion. Diffusion happens when you step back and name the process. Rather than believing the thought or taking the thought as an absolute, you create some distance by saying, I am noticing my mind is generating the I'm not ready story again. This creates some space between you and the thought. It's not you, it's something your mind is producing, really, to kind of protect you from disappointment or from what feels like it might be hard. Second is avoidance. The moment you open the blank document or start the difficult workout, an uncomfortable sensation arises. Anxiety or awkwardness, fatigue. Your brain says, let's clean the desk or check social media instead, because those are easier things and they kind of push those feelings away. The solution is acceptance and willingness. Acceptance means instead of trying to eliminate the discomfort, you expand your awareness, you breathe, and you allow space for it. You recognize that it's there, it may not be going away, but it's not all that there is. There's also excitement, anticipation, hope, wants, desires. And you bring the discomfort along with you while taking the step anyway. Next, we have remote from values and distantly future. Remote from values happens when an action degenerates into a mindless should. You think, I have to finish this report. When that happens, motivation instantly drops. How do you combat this? Well, the solution is relinking. Pause and ask, how does completing this task reflect the kind of teammate, leader, or creator I want to be? Reattach the daily chore to your deeper core identity. And then finally, there's distantly future. Human brains are wired for immediate gratification. If writing a book or building a business pays off in 3 years, but watching a video gives dopamine right now, short-term comfort tends to win almost every time. So what's the solution? Micro rewards and present moment focus. Shrink the target to a 5-minute action and celebrate the immediate completion of that small step right now. We tend to focus so much on the ultimate goal and outcome that we miss the part that having the steps and taking steps in that direction are also payoffs and rewards in and of themselves. It's called enjoying the journey and celebrating the journey. All right, here is your 4-step values action blueprint in order to put this all into practice. First, define the action. State a specific, manageable step rooted in your values, VALUES. Second, run the HRD hard audit. Ask yourself, which of the 4, hooked, avoidance, remote, or distantly future, is most likely to show up when I begin? 3, formulate an if-then strategy. If I get hooked on self-doubt, then I will acknowledge the thought and set a timer for 5 minutes. Fourth, make a micro commitment. Take an immediate action within the next hour to build momentum. By writing down your if-then response ahead of time, you eliminate decision fatigue when inner friction strikes. To wrap things up today, remember, action without values is aimless. Values without action are just a dream. As you leave today's session, pick one important goal that you've been delaying. Run it through the HRD audit, and then craft your if-then plan and take that first micro step today.